Hey everybody, just going to do a quick guide on the Hallowed Sepulchre. I only have access to floors 1 through 4, so that's all I'm going to be able to show. But first off, just change your rune light settings to GPU to draw distance to make it higher. You can do this in the rune light settings. I have mine at 40. I don't think it goes higher than 35, but it's just really helpful to be able to see the arrows that come at you. I have the ring, which makes it so that I can teleport faster when I take damage. You need vampire dust, planks, nails, anti-poison, stamina, and then hammer saw, lockpick, and the runes for the enchant spells, either the onyx enchant or ruby, whatever your highest level is. Alright, let's get started. So I'm going to do 2 full run-throughs. There's 2 different layouts for each floor, and hopefully I can get to show you all of them, or if not, I will at least show you all of floors 3 and 4. I'm going to point out little things here. That little spot that I went to is just nice to be able to go through faster. That's what it looks like when you get teleported with the ring. If you don't have the ring, you get like a black screen, which takes a little bit longer, so you can't see what's going on and it's black. Floors 1 and 2 are pretty easy. It gets a little bit more difficult on floor 3 and 4. You can build the bridge on floor 1, but I don't really think the coffins are worth it on floor 1. I just skip those because sometimes they don't even give you the marks. Moving right along, this one you can usually just click straight through. It gets pretty close, but like as long as you're not dilly-dallying around the door, you can go straight through. This is really easy trap. All you have to do is just not click on the ones that are activated, and you can always skip over them. Like if you click on the tile before, you can skip over an active one, which is helpful to know. Misclick. The ring lets you spam click when you make mistakes, which is nice. If I had no ring, it would end up... I would have to sit there and wait for a whole nother cycle. Here you can run around this pillar, but you generally don't have to unless the sword is right on your ass. Oh, always pray at these statues, or you can use staminas. I have the holy book with me, just because it's a Saradomin item, and that's the only way you can pray here. I got really lucky there, but it's not that bad. Here's a grapple. This is the first one that I would recommend doing. You can get 2 or 3 hollowed marks here. I just noticed this guy has a squirrel. I think the first upgrade after the ring that I'm going to get is going to be the grapple, because it's pretty... was I too slow here? No, okay, that was really close. So this one is really annoying, because if you make one mistake, or if you get teleported once, you're pretty much guaranteed to get hit. So hopefully I don't get hit. Nope, I got hit, so... yeah, there you go. I think it's easier to have the sword... Instead of the sword chasing you, you want this to follow the sword. So this is a mistake on my part. But it is possible to make that. You just can't get teleported at all. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. This one you just got to keep an eye out for this little nook here. Again, the benefit of the ring, I'm going to take the risk here, and I didn't quite make it, but it doesn't matter at all, because I teleport back and I can just keep spam clicking. That's another coffin that I just passed right there with a portal. That's what the ruby enchants are for, but it wasn't active for me this time. I always like to face my camera to the west here, and I find it much easier. So what you do to pass this part is you click on the flame, the second or third flame that comes out, and you want to click directly on like where the flame came out. That way you will always avoid the next one that's coming, because it doesn't spawn in the same place twice. You just have to keep an eye out for the arrows there. I'll show that again next time. That was really fast. But I think you have to do that no matter which side you come through. So that you have to get pretty good at that. I know a lot of people struggle with that. I definitely did at the beginning. But just knowing that all you have to do is click on the second or third flame that comes out, and you're good to go. For lightning, what you can do is you stand right here, and if you just click straight through, you aren't going to get hit by any of them. So you just wait. You don't have to wait for it to activate or anything. You can just click as soon as you're on that square. Here for the sword, you just wait for it to get thrown, and then you'll click right behind the flames that come out of the third statue, I believe. Yep. And then we wait here, and then you actually don't have to wait. You can just go straight through. I don't know what just happened with my camera. This is fairly straightforward. You just have to make sure that you're watching where the arrows are coming from. Always clicking diagonally in front of you to make sure you're not getting hit. And just watch the statues. That was really close. Here's the bridge that I'm going to actually do. I use mahogany planks and runite nails because generally you don't fail at all. I just failed once there, but it's still really fast. It's probably, like, you definitely profit still, so it's not a huge deal. That green puff is what the antidote is for. And I don't think the loot gets affected by what planks you're using. Here, this is really annoying because sometimes that sword is all the way at the end and you have to wait for it. But all you have to do here, stand right at the edge of that lightning, and then as soon as the sword comes back, just run straight through. As long as you start right at the edge of that lightning, where I did there, you will not really have any issues other than maybe getting teleported. Worst case scenario, you're going to have to wait for that sword to do a whole nother cycle. I'm getting a little, yeah. So here I normally like to click right before each set of 9 little tiles. Hopefully you don't get teleported, but I click before it so that I can get out of the way of the arrows, and then as soon as I get out of the way of the arrows, I can be like, okay, where are the yellow things? I need to click through them or past them. Alright, last attempt here. Just kidding. Getting teleported is very disorienting. Okay, so that is floor 4 done. Over here is where, on the eastern side, is if you don't get the previous Hallowed mark area, that's where you would go with the vampire dust. And yeah, I would click through there, but I don't have 92 agility, so that was floor 4. I'm going to go through again. Again, just clicking in this little nook because the sword takes a while to come back. If you just run as fast as you can through there, you can generally click straight onto this square. It's right in the middle of the second to last statue there. Here, might get the grapple. No, it's the bridge, okay. You do sometimes get marks from there, so I'm not really sure if it's worth it. And camera angle is huge on this because if I'm not, I find that if I'm not on the same camera angle for each part, I can't really tell what's going on. So there is probably why I messed up. But once I fix my camera angle to be consistent, good to go. Here's another spot to use vampire dust. This stuff got expensive real quick. I think I bought mine for like 2.4k each. And they're listed for about 800 in the Grand Exchange. I think the best loot that you could get here is either rune bolts or blood runes. I've gotten up to about 220 blood runes, and maybe 250 rune bolts, which is about 100k. It's not awful for some agility training. Most of the ones with, I think that's 5 statues, you can click right at the beginning, and then if you go right before the flames go away, you can click straight through to the end, which is very nice for speed, because a lot of the times you think you'd have to do it in 2 parts, but you can just do it in 1 for the most part. It's only the longer ones that you can't. Like, I think that is 4, so I should be able to run straight through that. The next one. This is why I need that grapple. Halfway there. So, normally I don't do this. Yeah, normally I just go straight through. So that's probably why I got messed up there. Now I'm just going to keep guessing. Yeah, so normally I just wait for this, and then I can just go. I was a little late there. I'm probably going to get hit. Yeah. Timing has to be pretty good. There we go. So let's see here. No way I'm making this. Yeah. But will I make through this? Utilize that little blue thing? Yeah, that's what we like to see. Well, that was easy. Alright, so just focus on, as soon as I get started here, as soon as I see where the flame came out, I'm going to click on the second or third flame. Never mind, I'm going to ignore the arrow. Now I'm going to click on the second or third flame, and then just move to a tile where the arrows aren't, and then run to the middle. Now click on the second or third flame, watch the arrows, that one has to pass me, and then I can move away from the next one, and then I'm good to go. So the XP rates here are pretty decent. At tier 82, so I have access to the first 4 rooms. I'm getting about 45k. Yeah, I'm not gonna make this. So what you should do here, is, will I make this? Oh, that's gonna be close. Yes, you should wait for the sword to come back, and then as soon as it comes back, you run across. You don't need the blue things generally, but if things go poorly, it can help. This part is very confusing, but as long as you keep an eye on the arrows, it's really not that bad. You can get unlucky with the yellow parts, and this is probably the part that people struggle with the most. So I would go to the 4th statue, and then the second tile on the 4th statue, mark that square. and then I think it's 8 statues or 4 flames in between those 2 markings. And if you wait for the double flame, so as soon as this double flame happens, I am going to click right at the end of it. And you should be able to do this in 3 clicks. So 1, 2, and 3. If you just practice that timing, you can click a little bit before the flames go away, and that way our character is moving as they go away. This part's generally pretty easy. If you click right before the tiles every time, like the teleport tiles, you shouldn't have any issues. Same thing with the lightning here. Got a little sketchy there. Here's a conjure portal. This is definitely worth it. This is, I think, the 4th floor. So this can give you between 3 and 6 hallowed marks. Oh, and some rune bolts. Very nice. 100k. Here's the blue sword. So this part, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either run behind the sword, or you can run in front of it. I think the easier one is to run in front of it, but I'm going to try and run behind it here and see if I can show you. This went pretty poorly because of those arrows, so I don't think I'm able to make it. No. Okay, attempt 2. This one I'm going to run in front of it, and I'm probably going to make it. You don't need the blue teleports to run away from the sword. It only goes about like a third of the way. But I'm just going to die here so that I can get reset. And then show you running behind it. So to run behind it, you need to hit the blue portals, because there's no way to go around it. You have to just get teleported past it. Arrows are working out nicely here. So now just click on a tile that has the teleports and you get teleported right past the sword. So that's also faster. Usually it ends up being that you have to wait 1 cycle. But yeah, there you go. That's floor 4 done, both sides. Best of luck.